Hello, my name is Konstantin Sterkhov. Today I'll be taking you on a journey to paint stunning work with watercolor. We will dive into the techniques to capture the mesmerizing moments of waves, the shimmering light on the water, and the vibrant colors of the sea from the point of view of sea inhabitants. So grab your brushes, let your creativity flow, and let's bring the magic of the ocean to life together.
So we are applying yellow ochre, but in a way that we're just like wetting the paper around the sailing boats, around the sails with ochre. So we're leaving the sails white and everything around is kind of yellowish. So it's mainly water, but with a little touch of ochre. You see how much water I'm using there. And I'm leaving just little places of white paper, probably accidental places. But generally, something what is left there, dry and white paper, it's just sails. The rest is just wetted with water with a little touch of ochre. Now I'm taking manganese blue and adding there. It's like pieces of blue sky. It's good to use a brush which is very absorbing. So here is a squirrel. It's Aquario by Escoda. Usually I'm using Rublev brushes, but this time I just decided to play with Escoda. So now it's gradient from ochre to blue. And now I'm mixing some gray. That is Velveter blue and neutral tint. And I allow it to flow. You can do a lot of things while it is still wet. But when it starts getting dry, then you have to use less water on your brush. Also, you can use a thirsty brush that takes, like absorbs the excess water. Like you just squeeze it with your napkin and it becomes thirsty. And then you can take all the excess water into the brush. I prefer this way, not with a napkin. I still can add more values there because it's still wet and flexible. I like to paint with inclination, but this time I'm painting just with my boat laying flat on the table. No inclination. Now again, thirsty brush and removing the puddle which is there into the brush. The brush is absorbing. It's like hatching.
Hope you're enjoying watching this lesson. I have something special for you. I'm inviting you to join my free workshop, Underwater World. I'll guide you step by step to paint an enhancing underwater scene. It's completely free, so click the link in the description to sign up. I'd love you to see you there and paint together.
Now I'm taking manganese blue and adding some little pieces of blue sky in between the clouds. That part is dry, so I can easily soften the edges with water, because you couldn't do that if it gets dry, but not dry yet. Because in this case, if you add water, it will make this kind of cauliflower effect. But when it is still wet, you can use more water, and when it is dry, you also can be quite brave with water because nothing will happen. Now you can see that part is having now it's a little bit drier, so I am using my brush with less water, more pigment, less water, and also there. So the blend on my palette is now also having less water. That part is still wet, but already not very wet. And I'm making a blend and taking not much water on my brush. The excess water I'm leaving on my paper palette. This is quite simplified clouds. The clouds near the horizon are smaller, like kind of more flat and thin, comparing to the big cloud which is above the sailing boats. And I'm just using a very bright stroke near the horizon that belongs probably to the distant island or some earth that we can see from the sea. Now I'm going to wet the whole area of the sea, leaving just the boats white. So I didn't do anything with these boats. I just paint them around. So I'm wetting now the sea with some kind of muddy ochre with some blend that was there on the palette. And now I'm mixing verditer blue and neutral tint, and probably a little bit of no, only that. and also a little bit of turquoise. And also I mix turquoise and indigo together and do some strokes into wet. Some darker accents, not accent, but maybe darker values there on wet. Such a thing that the sky should be done in one go. We cannot do anything with the sky when it gets dry. So it all have to be done in one go. When it is dry, it's done. With the sea, it's different. The sea is more solid, not like the sky, and you can add some texture there more than in the sky. So I'm doing the main parts in one go on wet, kind of wet, and then I can finish. I still can add something when it is dry. But the main work is done also alla prima. So the darker parts is also indigo and turquoise and a little bit of manganese blue. Now I'm adjusting the boat with the water. The down part of the boat is darker, and also it has some shadow there. So I have to define the shape of the boat and also to add the darkest dark there. Actually, it's going to be the darkest part of the painting, the darkest accent. And I can do it with the pure indigo. And also some definition of the shape. Now I can do a little bit of some strokes, and I can add some tone on the white sails. They are white and they have to look white, but they have some shape. That means they have light and shadow. And on those big white shapes, I can apply some shadows, quite transparent, with a lot of water, but still shadows. Maybe just strokes, very fast movement of the brush with some broken wash. Just the texture of the folders of the sails. And now I want to add this bright accent on the horizon, just pure manganese blue. And now I want to make some red accents. Maybe it's a crew of those boats. That is not going to be defined, just a few accents and only suggested. So the viewers supposed to guess how many people there and what are they doing and so on. Just I'm doing just a little bit, a little suggestion of people sitting there. Now I'm mixing these blues with ochre and quite thick mixture just for the darker accents of the masts. But I am not going to do thick straight lines, just also suggesting in some parts some structure. Now I'm taking a rigger, a liner brush, just for a few textures there, like very thin lines of some wires or some details on these sails. I don't know the names of all these things. So now some glazing with the same mixture. It's a little bit manganese blue and turquoise. And now I'm just making a big wash of the water surface, separating from the horizon, and actually emphasizing the horizon, and some harder texture of the water. Water is harder than the air, so it has to be. It needs another layer. And again, just showing the horizon and some texture of the waves. Now here, just this horizon, and leaving some fresh parts of the previous layer. I can see that that cauliflower is starting there on the left from the boat, but I will just leave it now as it is. Just I need probably to do a little definition here on the boat. Maybe showing the side of the boat by the shadow. some structure. Now I want to dry it because I have to remove the mask, and that I can do only on dry. You can see a cauliflower near the horizon on the left. Okay. It's almost dry. Now I'm removing the mask from the seagulls. So I got now all this white accents. And I want to add a few strokes on the water. Just to enhance the texture of the waves. I can add some pure color into these strokes. Kind of a drop of a pure color. That part should be corrected. You can see that cauliflower. What are we going to do? I'm just taking a pure water and wetting the whole area. And now with the soft brush, I'm just removing the border of this cauliflower. Now it's soft. Now we can see how it looks, the final painting.
Hope you enjoyed painting with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the Artefacto channel. See you soon.